Hey everyone, this is my first video of the video tutorial series. So I'm first starting off pedestrian catch. So if you want to just type that into Google and click on the first link. Once you go onto the pedestrian catch website, this is your toolbar here on the left hand side, which is your different variables for the pedestrian map out. On the right hand side you can choose from map, satellite, OpenStreetMap, but for this I'm actually just going to use satellite, and you can either have your labels on and off for your map. So if you want to click on control and then use your scroll wheel, you can actually zoom into the map manually. As you can see here, this is the different map location. So then you can just right click on your mouse, that will put the location pinpoint marker. So that is the area which you can work with. But for this case I'm just going to search in my location in the top left hand corner. So for this I'm going to use Thompson Reserve, which I have for another assignment. It will then find your location and then pinpoint that onto the map. The blue outline is actually the council within you can work in, or the suburb, so you cannot put your pinpoint locator outside of that area, it won't work. So you will need to actually search for that suburb to actually put that point in the different location. So again, clicking on control and then using your scroll wheel. The red lines are actually the different gradients, so the red is obviously the steepest, with the color going down being less steep. As you can see as I'm scrolling over here. You can either turn that on and off, but for this case I want to show the different mapped paths with the gradient on, so I want to leave it on. Again, using the control and the scroll wheel. In this point you can use either 1, 2 or 3 pinpoint markers, which you can use to map out how far you can walk from each distance. This is good if you want to show how long it would take to walk from one point to another on your site. But for this case I'm just going to use the 1 pinpoint marker. You can either change from your time, and that's how long it will take for you to walk from the different location. I can only go from 1 to 30 minutes, but for this I'm just going to use 10. This is how fast or slow you can walk in your map layout. You can either go from pretty slow pace or fast, but I'm just going to keep it at generic. The isochron type is how far the pinpoints will be pointed out on the map. So this will be every 25 meters it will stop and calculate that point. Here's your gradient. You can change the different gradient level, but I'm just going to leave it at 1 to 114. You can then run your test here. It will then simulate the different walking pathways throughout your site and how long it will take to walk from different locations. The little what would you call minions actually generating and showing a walking pathway through your site and how long it would take to get to a different location. This will try and avoid the darker red slopes and try to go through an easier walking pathway. As you can see, it will then pinpoint your finished location, so each point is actually 10 minutes away, and it will show the gradient levels through each point as well, and actually maps it out for every 25 meters is a separate point. So for the simulation it would actually map out every point. So within the 10-minute walking pathway it would actually mark out a 25-meter dot, and that will show the gradient for each level as well. So I'm just going over each of the different points that I marked the location on, and it will show the gradient for each level as well. If you want to download this file, you click on to download KML. That will give you a file which you can use for Google Earth, which I find to be a really successful visualization tool. It shows each point of the locator, and it is a good way to show your data. That is the end of my first tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for listening.